So, hello everyone. Now we are starting the function in the Python. Let us begin. What is the meaning of function and what is the use of function? So, first of all, I would like to introduce you what is the meaning of function. In technical terms, if we say function, so function is a block of code, block of statements, block of instructions which only runs when it is called, and it execute a set of statement, and after that it accomplish a given task. So function is basically used to accomplish a task that is needed in a program. Program A program may have one or more than one functions. Earlierly, what we have made in the program, we are not using function. We have run a set of statements that can also be called a function. That is a single function. Okay. Function is a way to use modular programming approach. Why? What is modular programming approach? In short, explaining this. Suppose you are having a problem to do. Suppose the problem is little big or it is having several parts. So what you can do, you just divide the problem in various modules, sub-modules, solve the individual sub-modules separately, and you can join all them together for the final results. For example, we are running a school. In the school, there are various departments. So we are having several different teachers to deal with the different departments, and all the teachers are controlled or managed by the authority, that is principal, right? So uh, this is the meaning of uh, function. Function in Python, function, we can create one or more than one function. Like earlier we have created only one function. Now we can start learning how can we make any other functions also. Before that, we must know what are the different category of functions. There are two type of categories of functions. One is called inbuilt function, that is bundled inside the programming library. That is inbuilt functions like len functions, print functions, sqrt input, and there are some header file functions like math library file is having several functions, string library file having several functions, random function. Such functions are already inbuilt in the Python, either in the language or either in some library files. So we they are already inbuilt. We have to just use it. Just open the function, just call the function, and we will get the task what is inbuilt inside the function. Like sqrt function, suppose you want to make a square root of a certain variable, then we need not to write the procedure of this square root. We'll just call the function sqrt. We'll import the file math and write the function math.sqrt, and we will get the result. The actual coding behind the sqrt function is already written somewhere in the library file or in the language package. So these functions are used created to facilitate user, the programmer. Suppose programmer man work is to make several programs in different kinds. In that programming, these functions are created to help the program. The second category of function is user defined function. In this user defined function, everything, the goal of the function, the name of the function, the statement written inside the function, all these things are designed by the user. For example, if you compare SQRT, suppose SQRT is not in the library, then in a program, suppose we need to make a square root, then we have to write all the statements needed for square root along with the name, along with the name, along with the body, parameters, everything we have to design. So there are two categories of functions. Okay, so now here I am just revising once again. Function is a procedure, it is a method to do a task. In program, we are creating one or more functions to facilitate the programmer's job. It allows modular programming approach. So our program is split in various functions that can be managed by a common man program functions. There are two types of functions. One is called library or inbuilt functions, and another one is called user defined functions. Library function or inbuilt functions are already inbuilt inside the program or in the library files. User defined function, all the details and name and goal, what the function will do, everything should be designed and decided by user. Okay, so now next, another thing, why we need functions. Why we need functions? So some points are there, some causes are there, that's why we need functions. I have already given one important example. You can take one more example of a banking scenario. Suppose in a bank there are very less number of customers, so only one or two or three members inside the bank, they can run the show, they can manage the business. But if you go in a city, there are various, means more than 10 people are working in there, because the number of customers, the number of tasks are more. When the tasks are more, when the number of jobs are more, then the whole work is divided in various different persons. Same here, modular approach, if we are using, our programming would be very easily handled by the programmer. So by using modular approach, a problem is solved by splitting it in small individual functions or submodules that will facilitate user and the programming also. Second point, why we need function is reusability of codes. Suppose a function you have created, in that a particular task is solved by using set of statements. So if you have created a function that can be recalled again and again and many times without rewriting all the statements inside the function body. Like in a program, suppose you are writing SQRT. So whenever you need square root, you just call the function SQRT and the task over. So that facilitates more. So reusability of code saves our time, saves our overall execution time, programming time, etc. Third point is, if we divide the task in different submodules, very less chances of error, less prone to failure, less prone to error, because individually small codes we are writing, then there is a less chance of error in these small codes. Plus, if any error occurs, we can solve it very easily. Programs are very easy to maintain because things are written separately, individually, so you can manage it very easily. You can understand it very easily. Okay, fine. So, move to the next thing. the elements of functions. When we are working with function, what sort of things we need to write, what sort of things we need to create. So before we can use function, just hold on. Okay. So there are two elements of function. When we use to create the function, first thing is we have to define the function, and second thing is we have to call the function. That can be also called invoke the function. So two things are important when we use to create user defined function. First thing is we have to define the function. The function definition contains the name of function, the statements in the function that will create, that will define what the function will do. And the second part is the function definition itself cannot be executed until you call it. So in the program, you have to call the function by writing a statement that is called function call statement. Okay. So first of all, we have to understand how to define a function. How to define a function is also known as create a function. So this is the example you can see. def. This is a keyword that define for a function. This is for always used for function definition. So def means it is defining the function. My underscore function is the name of the function. Here you can see there is a one more in the box you can see def average. So here average is the name of function. Go in the first example, def my underscore function. So this is a name of function. After that there is a round bracket that is called parenthesis. You must use parenthesis only. Here inside the parenthesis nothing is written. And after that colon sign. Colon sign is must. So after the function you have to write after the colon sign you have to write all the body of the function. Like in this example, it is written print hello from a function. This is the message only one statement that is called the body. So in the function definition, there are two parts. One is the function header, where the name of the function is written. That is important one. And second one is the body of the function. First, you understand how to write the function header. It is begin with the keyword def, then afterwards name of the function, that can be an average or print or my function or f or f1, anything you can take, any identifier, valid identifier as the name you can put, round parenthesis, and inside the bracket you can take two arguments or one argument or three arguments or no arguments. For example, suppose I am using a function sqrt. In the sqrt, for which value you have to find the square root, that you need to pass in the bracket, sqrt bracket. Inside the bracket you have to write for which the square root you have to find. So there is the argument is needed there. Okay. And there are some other functions like clear, that bracket, inside the bracket no argument is needed. Why? Because that function does not need any data. Okay. Suppose I am the main program, I am telling you find the sum of any two numbers from your side. So you take any two numbers from your side and add them. Okay. Suppose I want that you have to add the two numbers from, wait a minute, there are some participants waiting in the lobby. I will join them. Why they are coming late? Who is this? 25 participants. Okay, fine. So in the function header, only one line, dash, name of function, bracket, if you are having some data that you can pass in the argument. So here in this example, total and num, these are the parameters or arguments. After that, the column type. This, the first line is header of the function. In the function definition, the second part is the function body. Let us see how we can write the function body. Function body, after the header statement, you can write the statements in the function body, but they must be having some one indent, left indent. See here in this example, daf average, it needs two data, total and num as argument. So whomsoever will call this function have to pass two data, one for total, one for num, and these data will be stored in this function and come into this body. In this body, x assigned to total divided by num. So whatever the value of total divided by num, and the answer is stored in x, and the x value will be returned by the function. So only two statements are there in this function. So these two statements are called as a function body. In earlier example, you see dash my function. There is only one statement, print hello from the function. So this is the function body only. In this function, it needs two statements, or it may need three or more. Whatever the statement needed are written under the definition of the function header statement with a proper indent. Okay, so first part we have completed, that is function definition. Now the second and very important part is function call. If you can write one or more function in your program, all the functions you write dash in the beginning of the program, dash, and all the function details you write, then another function, another function, another function. But at the end or after ending all the functions, you need to call them. For example, here I have written a function dash average. The average is the name of function having two arguments, total and num. So x assigned to total divided by num and return x. These two are the part of the function average. And after that, you see the indent ended, and we have written 20, average 20 comma 4. So this is the call of the function. Whenever we need to call a function, what we have to do? Just take the name, round parenthesis, and the data needed in the argument that we have to pass. These three things we have to write. That will call the function, it will jump the execution to the function body, execute the function and come back. Okay, so this is the example for calling a function. So next, this is one example, you can understand how we can write the function. This one you can see. See, this is a program happy.py, simple illustration of function. One function I have written here, dash happy. Inside that, only one statement, print happy birthday to you. There is another function, dash sing. Inside that, one argument is written person. I don't know what is that. Print happy birthday dear and comma print. So that means person is a variable. So that variable will be printed by this print function. So these two are the functions. And next, we are writing the instructions. These are not part of the function. So happy, first we call the function happy. So happy function is not having any argument. So whenever we need to call happy function, we write happy. So when we write happy, what happens? It will execute. So when it will execute, what it prints? It prints happy birthday to you. And after that, we have called sing function. Sing function, and we have passed one argument, that is name of a person, Fred. Instead of Fred, you can write your name. So when you execute the function sing bracket name, so it will pass the name to the function. So the value of person will be now Fred. So what it prints? Happy birthday dear Fred. So that output will appear. You can see here the output is happy birthday to you, happy birthday dear Fred. So when you type the same program, instead of Fred, you can write your name. If you write your name, then output will appear like happy birthday to you, happy birthday dear, your name. Okay. One important thing I would like to tell you now, a function can be called by any other function. Means एक फंक्शन किसी दूसरे फंक्शन को भी कॉल कर सकता है, और दो या दो से ज्यादा फंक्शन हो तो कोई भी फंक्शन किसी भी फंक्शन को कितनी भी बार कॉल कर सकता है। अगर हम चाहें कि प्रोग्राम में फंक्शन के अलावा आप जो स्टेटमेंट लिख रहे हैं वो भी एक अलग फंक्शन में रखना चाहें आप, तो आप उसको एज अ मैन फंक्शन के रूप में भी बना सकते हैं। जैसे मैंने इस प्रोग्राम में लिखा, एक फंक्शन है हैप्पी, एक फंक्शन है सिंग, और ये जो दो स्टेटमेंट हैं ये किसी फंक्शन की कैटेगरी में नहीं है, ये हमारा प्रोग्राम है। तो हम हमारे प्रोग्राम को भी मैन फंक्शन प्रोग्राम के रूप में बना सकते हैं। कैसे? ये जो स्टेटमेंट है दोनों हैप्पी और सिंग, इसको हम एक मैन फंक्शन के अंदर डाल देंगे। आगे बताऊंगा मैं अगले एग्जांपल में कि हम मैन फंक्शन भी कैसे बना सकते हैं। सी फंक्शन में दो चीजें अभी हमने देखी, फंक्शन का डेफिनेशन और फंक्शन का कॉल। फंक्शन डेफिनेशन में हमने देखा कि फंक्शन के नाम के आगे ब्रैकेट में हमें कुछ आर्ग्यूमेंट्स चाहिए होते हैं। These arguments are also called args or parameters. Okay, that may be required or may not be required. How many required? That is totally depends upon the function requirement. If the function needs to take data, then it must have argument. Okay, if a function does not require any data from the man or any other function, then it does not have any argument. Okay, so it's up to the program, it's up to the problem. An argument or all the arguments can be set by default also. Like if you are passing, it's okay. If you are not passing, then it will take by default value, by default 0, by default null, like that. Okay, see this example, def my function bracket 2 argument f name or I name. In that function what we are doing, simply printing the name by joining them, first name and last name. So what is the output of this? Two different words, it joined them with a gap in between them. So this is a function. Whenever we need to do this, suppose we are having one variable and second variable, we need to join them. Yes, in output we can call this function. See, to call this function we will write my function. If we give one, for example, RRR and FFF, we call this function with two arguments RR and FFF, then it will execute, and what it prints, RRR dash space FFF. Okay. How do we give default argument? I said in the another previous slide that an argument can be fixed by a default value. See, if you want to fix an argument's value by default, then you simply use this in the function definition. You just give is equal to sign and set the default value. How? See the example. That my function bracket country is equal to Norway. So this is the definition of function. In the definition we have fixed the by default country is Norway and we will print it. In the example, we are writing my function call statement. So when we call this, in the first example, we are not passing any argument. So simply no argument is passed. So in that case, the function will be taking its default value, Norway. So what is the output? Output will be I am from Norway. Second example, you see my function bracket, you are passing an argument, data argument, that is India. So that argument will replace in that function Norway replaced by India for that function. So in that call, the country will be India. So what that print, I am from India. Immediately after that, you again you call the same function by passing the different argument Brazil. It will call the function and it will print I am from Brazil. Okay, return value. If this is in basic programming in function, this is the last statement. Return value. When we call a function, we can give data in argument. Function will take the data, calculate it, execute it, and the result the function can display, or the result can be transferred back to the calling function, whomsoever will call that, or it will pass on to that. So return, there is a function called return. So return is a facility or a statement that help you to return a value back to the program. In the function, at the last we have to write what value you want to return. Define by function, argument is x and it returns 5 into x. 5 into x. So print, when we call this function, my function, and in argument we are passing 3. So argument value will be passed 3. So it returns what? 5 into x. What is the value of x? That is 3. So it returns 5 into 3, that is 15. And that we will print directly. So what is the output of the first line? That is 15. In the second statement, again we are calling this function, my function 5 we are passing as a value, then it will pass 5 into 5 and it will return 25. The output would be 25. Same, next example you can see my function and you are passing value 9, then it will return 5 into 9, that is 45. So that we will print, the output would be 45. So guys, these are the basic of the function. Please go through this once again, and if you are having any query, please, I'm just opening the query section, so you can chat me what you want, anything you want to repeat, I will repeat now, otherwise I will end the today's session. Please write in chat. If you are having any doubt, or at least you can write the feedback. Hello. Students, I would like to ask, as today's WebEx online live lesson and yesterday's YouTube live, can you suggest um, for further lessons, can I use the same WebEx? YouTube is also good, so you can compare and you can suggest me what to do, or both things, parallel, your views. One more important doubt, that insertion sorting from Aman. Aman, I will definitely explain insertion sorting. Yesterday's both sorting methods I am going to explain now after this meeting. No problem. Okay. Divyanshi says no doubt. No problem. I will share these notes. And if you further, if you are having any problem, you can please uh, give a message on WhatsApp. Thank you. Thank you.